Welcome back to Vantage with AI. I've been planning to make this video for quite some time now, but with the recent drop of the new Quinn image models, I decided to put it on hold for a bit. Today, that wait finally pays off. In this video, I'll be walking you through a powerful and flexible advanced workflow built using Z-Image Turbo, along with Fun Control Union 2.1. What makes this workflow special is that it gives you 5 different output possibilities from a single input image. So instead of juggling multiple workflows, you get everything in one place. Let me quickly break down the 5 different ways you can use this workflow. Regenerate the same image. Here, the input image is used as a base reference, and your prompt defines the final look or style. Regenerate the image with a different background. The main subject stays consistent, but the background is changed or replaced. Reference mode. In this mode, the input image acts as a control and pose reference, while the prompt drives the final result. Inpaint the character while keeping the original background. This is useful when you want to redesign or restyle the character, but preserve the scene. Outpaint a new background while keeping the character. Here, the character stays untouched, and a brand new background is generated around it. So depending on your creative goal, you can switch the required modes. Before we dive into the workflow itself, let's quickly cover the models you'll need. First, download the Z-Image Turbo-based model in .safe-tensors format. If you're running on limited VRAM, you can alternatively use the GGUF version. Next, you'll need the Z-Image Turbo Fun Control Union 2.1 model. Along with that, you'll also need the clip text encoder, Qwen34b.safe-tensors, and the Flux VAE, AE.safe-tensors. These are the usual components, and don't worry about hunting these down. All the download links are already included inside the workflow and also listed in the video description below. And if you enjoy deep dive workflows like this one, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future uploads. Now let's walk through the main sections of the workflow so you know exactly what each group is responsible for. First is the models group. This is where everything loads: the base Z-Image Turbo model, the VAE, text encoders, and the Fun Control Union model. All model-related configuration stays here. Next is the prompts group. This is where you define your main prompt, along with any stylistic instructions, scene descriptions, or creative constraints. No matter which output mode you use, this prompt remains the creative driver. Then we move to the inputs group. Here, you load the primary reference image, and optionally a second image to act as a background reference if the selected mode requires it. This keeps all image-based inputs neatly separated from logic and sampling. This is where most of the magic happens. Inside the controls group, you select what kind of process you want to perform: regeneration, background change, pose-driven generation, inpainting, or outpainting. You'll also find an important toggle here: flow control, enable, disable. This option is especially useful when generating images with lots of text. When flow control nodes are enabled, text quality can sometimes degrade. So, for little or no text, keep flow control enabled. For heavy text content, disable flow control for better clarity. You can also choose the model format here, whether you want to use safe-tensors or GGUF. Just toggle the option you need, and the workflow adapts automatically. Finally, we arrive at the sampling group. This is where the actual image generation happens: sampling, denoising, and producing the final output. All the creative decisions you made earlier come together at this stage. With that overview out of the way, let's jump into the actual workflow and see how each mode behaves in practice. I'll start by running a few examples so you can clearly see the differences between regeneration, background replacement, pose-driven generation, inpainting, and outpainting. Let's get started. For all the tests in this video, we'll be using this same input image as our reference, so you can clearly see how each mode behaves differently while keeping the source consistent. I'm selecting Regenerate from the Controls group. For this test, I'll be using the following prompt: a high-fashion professional photograph for a magazine cover. Cinematic lighting, highly detailed, photorealistic. The magazine title is Supers in large, stylish white font at the very top center. The cover line text under the left side of the main title reads Magazine in smaller yellow text. The issue date text under the right side of the main title says December 2025 in tiny white font. Let's run it. So this is the result from regeneration mode. The character, pose, and framing stay extremely consistent, while lighting, texture, and overall image quality get a noticeable upgrade. One key thing to note in this mode is how text or added elements behave. Any new text or objects tend to blend into the image, rather than sitting clearly on top of it as separate overlays. This makes regeneration great for subtle, realistic additions, but not ideal for sharp, graphic-style text placement. Next, we'll switch to background replacement while keeping the character unchanged. For this test, we are using this image as the background reference. Since we're only changing the background in this mode, the prompt is kept intentionally simple. For this test, I'll be using a high-fashion professional photograph. Cinematic lighting, highly detailed, photorealistic. Let's run it. The new image has been generated where both the background and the subject have been recreated. The colors and lighting of both elements have been adjusted to accommodate each other, while still keeping the overall look and similarity to the original image very close. For our next test, we'll use the input image as a control and pose reference. For this test, we'll be using the following prompt: a high-fashion professional photograph for a magazine cover. The subject is a middle-aged white woman wearing a t-shirt and jeans with headphones on her head, standing in a jungle. Cinematic lighting, highly detailed, photorealistic. The magazine title is Supers, in large, stylish white font at the very top center. The cover line text under the left side of the main title reads Magazine in smaller yellow text. The issue date text under the right side of the main title says December 2025 in tiny white font. Let's run it. This is the result of using the input image as a pose and control reference. The pose, framing, and overall composition clearly follow the original image, but the subject, clothing, and environment are completely regenerated based on the prompt. The model successfully shifts the scene into a jungle setting, updates the character's appearance, and adapts lighting and color tones to match the new environment. This makes it ideal when you want maximum creative freedom while still keeping predictable composition and pose consistency. Next, we'll move on to Inpainting, where we keep the background and regenerate only the character. Because the background is already locked, the prompt is kept simple and focused only on the subject. A high-fashion professional photograph for a magazine cover. The subject is a middle-aged white woman wearing a t-shirt and jeans with headphones on her head. Let's run it. This is the result from Inpainting mode. Only the character has been replaced, while the background, lighting setup, and overall scene remain unchanged. This mode works best when you want to swap or redesign a subject without disturbing the surrounding scene or composition. Next, we'll move on to the final test, Outpainting, where we keep the character and generate a new background around it. For this test, we'll use the following prompt: a high-fashion professional photograph for a magazine cover. The subject is standing in a jungle, cinematic lighting, highly detailed, photorealistic. The magazine title is Supers, in large, stylish white font at the very top center. The cover line text under the left side of the main title reads Magazine in smaller yellow text. The issue date text under the right side of the main title says December 2025 in tiny white font. Let's run it. This is the result from Outpainting mode. The character remains unchanged, while the surrounding environment has been replaced based on the prompt. The new jungle background blends well with the subject, and the lighting and colors adjust naturally to maintain visual coherence. This mode is especially useful when you want to keep the subject fixed but need a completely new or extended background to fit a different creative direction. And that wraps up this advanced Z-Image Turbo Plus Fun Control Union 2.1 workflow. As you've seen, using a single setup, we were able to regenerate images, swap backgrounds, drive completely new generations using pose control, perform precise inpainting, and extend scenes without painting, all while keeping control predictable and results consistent. This kind of flexibility makes the workflow extremely useful for creative experimentation, production work, and rapid iteration without constantly rebuilding your pipeline. You'll find the complete workflow and all required model links in the description below, so feel free to download it and experiment with your own images. If you found this useful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Vantage with AI, and turn on notifications for more deep dive workflows like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.